Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We were the Henderson State Bank team, and the name of our product is the Ag Input Origination Software. So just a bit about the company. Henderson State Bank is a Nebraska-based bank that was chartered in October 1943, and the current stakeholder group that we had the pleasure of working with purchased the bank in 2006. And they have a focus on agricultural and commercial business. And shortly after the purchase, the bank began expanding in western Nebraska into York, Greeley, and Giltner, Nebraska. So for the stakeholders, the main sponsor that we worked with was Stephen Possier. He is the senior vice president of the bank currently, and also joining us today is Wagner Simos, and he was one of the developers, part of Henderson State Bank that we had the pleasure of working with. For the faculty, staff, and our industry coach, our project manager was William Browning. Our tribe lead this year was Dr. Vinod Variam, and they are two of the UNL faculty that really helped us through all of the professionalism and mannerisms as we took on this project. And our industry coach was John Benak. He's a developer with Buildertrend, and he was super helpful with all of the technicalities as well as helping us with developer mannerisms during our sponsor meetings. To introduce the student team, I had the role of squad lead as well as the product manager this semester. My name's Cameron Wood. Joining me today is our development manager, Owen Lammers, and Kieran Andrews is another member of our team. He was a developer. We also had David Smith and Kunyu Lee, who were also developers. And another member of our team, Kellen Jungman, he was on our team for the fall semester, but he's only a minor in computer science. So the problem that Henderson State Bank wanted us to solve was essentially they wanted to streamline the lending process for its company customers. So the project goal was to develop a software that would allow Henderson State Bank to set up different companies as well as change the loan requirements that these companies asked for. The opportunity that the development team saw was to create an authentication-based web software that would allow Henderson State Bank to set up companies as well as unique loan templates for each of those companies that could then be viewed and edited at any later date.
With that problem in mind, I'd like to present to you guys the solution. These two pages you see here, this one on the right is our login page, and the one on your right is the sign-up page. Pretty standard stuff. Something to note is we include the company names, which is important for our admin system, which we'll see in a second. So here's what the home page of the application will look like. Right here is the home page for an admin or a company representative user. Basically, these are users with the authentication and the permission to view applications. If you're a regular user, it'll just show you the applications that you've filled out yourself. As well as right here is our table of companies. As you can see, we have several examples. This allows us to go in, change templates for companies, delete them, do any functionality needed on the company. And here is our company setup page. We just ask for some basic information when setting up your company, in addition to like an admin user, which is required for every company. And right here we have our loan application setup. Basically, the functionality of this page is to set up a template for a company to use, so that users can fill out their applications with the necessary data. The advantage of this approach and having multiple templates, or a template for each company, is that it allows the Henderson app to stay flexible due to changes in law, as well as just differing requirements for the companies that they contract this to. Over here you have our user management page. There's a couple things to notice here. It has the status of every user, whether they be an admin, a company representative, or just a regular user. We also have the company they work for, as well as if they're active or pending. So active users are users with full permission to use the app with full functionality. On this page, if you go to an active user, you can actually disable them. as a form of user management, as well as delete them if you don't see them being needed to be reactivated again. And then for the pending users are just people that applied for an account and haven't gotten a response back yet from the admin that's responsible of taking care of those applications. For our user settings, it's a pretty familiar site. We have your personal information and your company's information. You can go in here and edit your password, email, and if you're an admin user, you can change some additional information regarding the company. Moving on. So over here we have the applicant information. This is the first page that you will see when you're setting up an application or like filling it out. This requires you to list information about yourself, as well as add a cosign applicant name as well. And then over here is a very basic representation of what your average like loan information page will look like. So each of these pages is a section of the application. As you saw on the template page, you can add as many additional data points as you want. Here we just have name and social security number. But once this is all filled out, you can hit continue. It'll save everything, and then you can come back to it at a later time and have no trouble resuming right where you left off. So our app will, when a loan application is completed and the documentation needs to be printed off, our app will generate a PDF and download it into the web browser for the responsible user to review, print off, do whatever they need with it. It generates this based off of the sections. So this applicant will be the applicant section. That's that first page we showed you. And then this loan section is just a generic section. They can be named anything and have any amount of data points. They'll print this all off in like a organized manner. So for the value and highlights of our project, we really hope that this project will provide value to Henderson State Bank by streamlining their loan application process and removing administrative overhead, and provide like an easy and efficient way to access and review these applications, as well as like manage companies that are using the app and their users. We also added functionality for updating the loan requirements as standards change. The main lesson we learned the importance of good communications with the sponsor throughout the entirety of a product's development. One of the most difficult things about being a developer is clarifying the requirements of a project and making sure that you're building an application entirely to the sponsor specs. Through communication with the sponsor, we were also able to identify bugs and risks as we developed, as well as flaws in the design or anything that needs to be changed or for any reason. This provided value to the developers by considering other perspectives when working on other projects such as this. So I would like to thank everybody for coming. Special thanks to Wagner and the rest of Henderson State Bank for sponsoring this project, as well as thanks to Dr. Variam for being part of our team. Thank you for coming, everybody.